Alright, howdy. I'm going to do a quick demo today of a 96 Marshall model 4100, which is the JCM900 100-watt HiGain Dual Reverb. This was the last year, I believe 96, before they went to the JCM900 models. And it's one of only 2 years that they put 5881s in this amp instead of EL34s. Marshall went through a period in the 90s where they couldn't find EL34s they were happy with, so they experimented with some other tubes. And the Sovtek 5881 was a pretty popular tube at the time. They also were putting out an EL34, which in the 90s was not that great of a tube. I burned through quite a few of those in my 2203 here and in my Sound City Concords, which run at somewhere around 520 volts on the plates, so just way too hot for Sovtek EL34s of the time. Same with the 2203, it runs close to or over 500 for the most part. So they went to 5881s. They changed the circuit of the amp a little bit to accommodate that. I think there are some changes even above and beyond the bias resistors and the grid resistors. And so this is a dual channel with master volume and reverb level for each channel. Spring reverb, small tank but spring reverb. Then you've got presence, bass, middle, and treble set as you can see them there for this demo. And then preamp for each channel. One input jack, foot switch jack. The foot switch is controlling the channels. This also has a high and low power mode. It switches it from pentode to triode. I'm not sure what the voltage change is there. I think it's roughly half, but I've got it on high mode, and I'm going to play a PRS SE Zach Myers through it a little bit here, just to kind of give you a flavor for the channels. So I'm starting out with the A channel, which is the cleaner, more classic channel, and the preamp about a third of the way up, and so this is what it sounds like through the bridge pickup. Sorry, I got a problem with my pickup switcher. So you can see for Marshall, it gets pretty respectable clean tones. I think better than the ones in the JCM900 series. I owned many DSLs, both the 50 and 100 watt variety, and I think this actually does a better clean channel than the clean side on that. Here it is with the gain turned up to about 1 o'clock. An attempt to play some Who there, even though that's not necessarily appropriate for this amp. Here is the gain all the way up on the A channel. plenty hot for 80s style rock. I've got the master level, by the way, up about to 2, which is unthinkably loud on say my 2203. So this is not actually as loud as my 2203 is, even though it's 100 watts and it is on full power. I have here also, here's the B channel. As you can hear, it's a lot more metal voiced, what I would call. This is kind of classic, 90s metal, late 80s, early 90s metal. Interesting thing about this, and I remember this from when the amp came out, is that the numbers start at 0 on the gain on this, but go to 20, which I remember wondering at the time why that is. Somebody told me once that it was supposed to indicate that there was a interaction between the two channels, as if you were adding gain from the first stage to the second there. But clearly you're not, since the gain on the A channel has no effect. So I think maybe it was more marketing just to, communicate that you were talking about a really high gain amp. That's the gain about 2/3 up on that channel. Put it down to around 1/3 and it becomes a little less. So what I just showed there, I had to do some volume matching, but basically at roughly 1/3 of the way up, the gain on the B channel is about the same as the maximum gain on the A channel. Marshals are pretty good for being able to be cleaned up. Again, that's only 2/3 of the way up on the, or 1/3 of the way up on the gain. Here's about 2/3. That's 2/3 of the way up. Very kind of jubilee slashy tones. And then here's the gain on the B channel maxed out entirely. much of a middle or neck position player, but you get the idea based on the gain levels. So there it is, the 96 Marshall 4100. For those of you who wonder about the names, the model numbers, the 4100 is the same as the 2100. It just signifies that they've made the change to 5881. So, and the 4100 was kind of the, or the 2100 was kind of the inheritant of the 2010 or 20 and the 2105 JCM900 heads. But there it is. Enjoy. Thank you.